14, X22, 40, 47. According to him, because this call was made via the usage of a data, that is where you then include the 2-hour grace.
So it's not a question about whether a call was made or not. As I understand.
Thank you for watching the ads. Anyways, let's go to the North Gauteng High Court in the Senzo Mewa murder trial. You know, if you visited South Africa and you landed yesterday, or maybe you didn't land yesterday, let's say you landed on Monday, and you see South Africans are like this, and the other day they're like that, and the next day they're like this, and then that, you would be very correct to suspect that there might be some kind of mental health situation going on in this country, because I'll shame Ratha. So Ratha starts the court this morning and gave what sounded like a judgment. It was an hour and 12 minutes long, and I'm like, Haibo, what have we done today? But I will tell you what we've done, because not only did Ratha, if you were listening very, very carefully, Ratha was not only addressing the defense. He kind of like manipulated the defense. The whole person that started this whole saga is the witness. But the witness is not being addressed, but who's being addressed? It is Mr. Mnisi, and also indirectly to the other defense team. Not only that, but also the YouTubers. Even the YouTubers, we caught, would you say it's a stray bullet? No, maybe it's not a stray bullet, because I caught something regarding the Constitution. If you saw me yesterday, I did a quote from the Constitution, section 14, which is right to privacy. And I said to, I was just talking. I was like, if I was Mr. Mgomezulu, because the Poppy Act is so messed up, it has 3 different, you don't know exactly which one to pick in order to argue for the privacy of Kelly Kumalo being violated when her cell phone was being checked without her permission, right? And then I said, I mean, come on. I mean, the Constitution is supreme. We have section 14 of the Constitution, and the violations were committed in the provisions of the Constitution. I'm not rather coming, because I don't know where the Constitution thing was slid in. And it's like, well, some people think the Constitution is unlimited. Yeah, the provisions of the Constitution are limited. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Section 36 of the Constitution is the limitation clause. I get that. But then you understand that if Mgomezulu dared take that route of Section 14 of the Constitution, Ratha will just limit it and say, listen, we are going to limit this, because like with DNA results, and of course now with Pinky's evidence seemingly is being discredited. And wait a minute, guys. Did any of y'all see that bus accident where Pinky was underneath it, driven by Colonel Stain? Because I saw that, I witnessed it, and I was like, Pinky, are you okay? And I don't think he counted on Mr. Mnisi saying, okay, then we're gonna recall Pinky. I can imagine Pinky going, ah, near man. Judge Ratha was trying to arrest the situation this morning, only for it to punyuga through his fingers. Guys, I apologize for laughing, because this is what I've been doing the whole day, because what is going on in that courtroom is a joke, people. It is a joke. And I must also say, there was a time where Mr. Mnisi, I was like, Mr. Mnisi, go for the jugular. He was this, you know, it was here before he told the judge off that you are helping the witness. I mean, Ratha became so brazen in assisting Stain because of these so-called 2 hours that even when it was being explained, I was still going, huh? No, Pinky, please come back and tell us where this 2 hours is on your PDF. Because Stain, or apparently we need to call him Colonel Stain, even though he's retired, and then he was the one yesterday said, I'm retired. Okay, let's for peace sake, let's call him Colonel Stain. Colonel Stain keeps saying that that 2 hour thing, the adding of 2 hours, and now Pinky has to come back and explain these 2 hours for real. Because Mr. Nisi is saying to him, listen, that 2 hours you were adding it while there is data in the cell phone. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let Pinky come back so that she can clear this 2 hour thing. Does it exist? Doesn't exist. And where did Stain get it? And then there's a new name, guys. There's a new name. The compiler of the report. Is it Mushwana or something like that? Can we have Mushwana understand as well? Because math is not mathing at all, and Stain has decided that, listen, I am here to save my liberty and possibly save the liberty of the judge, the liberty of the prosecuting team, as well as the liberty of everybody involved, including the people that were with Senzo Meiwa in that house on the 26th of October 2014. That is what we are witnessing here, guys. We are witnessing miscarriage of justice, as I've been saying. And it was quite funny as well to hear Stain going like, yeah, Mr. Nisi is the one that keeps painting me with a black brush in the media. I'm like, you mean with YouTubers? Because I did not hear the media saying you are a liar. I've heard YouTubers saying, you lying. And we are still standing on that. Stain is lying. His math is not mathing. The testimony or the clarity that he's come to make turned out to be an addition, and now he is stuck in this web of lies that he was spinning when he took the stand. And now he is losing his temper, and then he will forget about what happened this morning when Judge Ratha was trying to arrest the situation, because the what do you call this thing again? The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife between Mr. Nisi as well as Stain. Even though Mr. Nisi tried it very, very hard to be as nice and polite as possible, until Stain lost it again. And then Mr. Nisi was like, wait, please, can you remind this guy what you talked about this morning? But that whole preaching and that whole lecture with all the case laws that Ratha brought, what was the point? Can somebody tell me what was the point? Because I was thinking to myself, but you also have to talk to yourself with this so-called judgment or whatever it is that you was doing. You wink at the witness, but you don't mention that even myself as a judge, I must not make gestures. I must preside over this matter in a fair and square manner. Well, that bus sailed. Does a bus sail? No, that boat sailed a long time ago when it comes to fairness. This is an unfair trial. We are just sitting in this because, we got to hear. Who knows, maybe a miracle will come and then we'll hear how Senzo Meiwa was killed. Seriously. That's the situation we find ourselves in this courtroom. I wish I had something tangible to tell you, because I'm going to play you some clips of what Mr. Nisi was trying to achieve out of Stain. But it was like pouring cold water on a duck's back. And then what are you taking from what is Stain saying back of the questions that Nisi was asking? You'll check out in the video clips. I'm going to do it at time-lapse for copyright purposes. I don't know, make up your own mind, because I was like, I know I get confused sometimes. And my IQs, they had an accident because they were rubbing towards each other so hard that my head was almost exploding. I'm like, what is Stain talking about? Because all I am hearing here is lies. Nothing but lies. He doubled down on the lies today. And then he thought, yeah, I'm going to also add my emotions and intimidate Mr. Nisi. I wonder how is he going to fare with Ms. Mshololo. Because Ms. Mshololo, I think she's going to tell him, listen, we need to speak like adults and we are going to treat each other like adults. You are going to answer the questions that I ask you. You are not going to ask me anything or lose your temper and throw your toys. You are going to answer, because we are here for you to help us understand these discrepancies that he still has not cleared. Now poor Pinky is go. Oh, poor Pinky. Anyways, I hope she is dragged under the bus and brought to court so that we rest this thing about these two numbers. I mean, these two numbers as well. No, these 2 hours, because it don't make sense at all. Even himself, he doesn't know what to say about those 2 hours. He keeps changing. I mean, we even had a whole adjournment for an hour so that he can go, whatever it is they were doing behind the scenes with Baloy and them. But when they came back, it still did not make sense. I wish I could tell you what exactly that is because I don't know either. In the dark, just like you. And then towards the end of the day, how Judge Rad, you could tell he was panicking in protecting Stain. But was he protecting Stain alone? I don't think so, guys. He was not protecting Stain alone. He even overruled Advocate Mnisi. When Advocate Mnisi was pointing out some irregularities that was being committed by Stain, being helped by the judge. He talked about courtesy this morning, and courteously, he is helping the state. And he says, yeah, at one point I was accused of collusion. What are you doing right now? What's going on? What is going on? So I don't know. One day Ratha is going to lose it with YouTubers and he's going to call us out right there in court. You watch and see. Because clearly he watches our videos. He said he sat the whole night writing whatever it is that he was talking about this morning. Maybe he watched some YouTube videos and I was like, oh, that one that talks about the Constitution, this is dangerous. Let me remind him or at least educate him that I can limit the Constitution. All you have to do is slap section 36 of the Constitution. Sorry. I'm not going to read the whole thing because I think it's a little stretching. But let's see what it says. This is the preamble of it. Section 36 of the Constitution. Yeah, section 36 is called limitation rights. Basically, it says, section 36, subsection 1, the rights in the Bill of Rights may be limited only in terms of law of general application to the extent that the limitation is reasonable and justifiable in an open and democratic society based on human dignity, equality, and freedom, taking into account all relevant factors, including, then it says all that other stuff that needs to be said there. But subsection 2 says, except as provided in subsection 1 or in any other provisions of the Constitution, no law may limit any right entrenched in the Bill of Rights. So the Bill of Rights is protected from section 36 of the Constitution. But section 14 is part and parcel of the Bill of Rights. But he wants to limit it and say, no, you can't use section 34 to argue why the state violated Kelly Kumalo's privacy when they analyzed her cell phone. I think Mr. Ngomezulu should take that route of the Constitution. It's the supreme law of the land. Judge Ratha cannot ignore that, because when you look at the Puppy Act, I looked at it today. I took my time and I looked at it. You have 2013, you have 2014, and you have 2021 dates of commencement. Like, which one is supposed to be used between these three? So use the Constitution, where that provision derived from the Constitution, section 14 of the Constitution. All these promulgations that we're talking about, no, you don't know which one is the right one to use in order to come to a justifiable defense for Kelly Khumalo, or at least for accused number 2. It's crazy what's going on in that courtroom, you guys. I don't think I will ever see something like this again. This makes great lesson for scholars of law in the near future. I think already some law students have already started with what's going on in Ratha's courtroom. I'm sure of it. Law schools all over the country, if they are not doing this case and you're a law student, they are doing you what do you call that word? An injustice. Criminologists, I've even heard somebody who shared with me that they're doing criminology, I think a master's, and they submitted the Senzo Mayua murder trial as their thesis. And I was like, great. That's actually a perfect. I would also do thesis on this particular case. Seriously, and the miscarriage of justice that we are witnessing is staggering, you guys. Staggering. But hey, let's see to the end of Ratha's judgment and see what exactly or how exactly he is going to conclude. I mean, some of us already suspect that the judgment is ready. I mean, he is fighting the defense with everything that they are bringing on the table that makes perfect sense. He doesn't like that. He comes into the arena and becomes the prosecutor and the witness. And then he says he's not interfering or colluding. Anyways, all these are allegations. It's we don't know because we are not there. But we do have eyes, we do have brains, and we see things. And of course, you put one and one together, you get a two, right? But other than that, guys, that is all that I have for you. Unfortunately, I wish I had something tangible to tell you. There's nothing tangible that's happening in that courtroom anyway for me to table to you and say, oh, okay, let's look at this, and this is what he's saying. No, I don't have it. It's a waste of time. But please, Pinky, come back. I don't know. I hope you'll be okay, but I don't think you will be because you're going to be grilled. Staying through you under the bus. He was like, I ain't going to jail. Let her go to jail. So let's see how it all going to play out because they were trying to discredit the Vodacom data. That's what I think this whole exercise is about. And render Stein as the expert. And his testimony is the correct one, not the Vodacom one. But yes, Pinky is going to come back, and I hope she's going to come with guns blazing and say, listen, you are not going to put me in trouble. I'm not going to be the one that's going to take the rap for you. This is our data. This is how we work. And this is how the nature of this information is dealt with. And these 2 hours you're talking about, egg Vietnam. And yes, I don't know it. But other than that, guys, do not leave this video without liking, sharing, and also subscribing. Thank you so much for watching the ads, guys. Thank you. I saw the needle move. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Other than that, guys, let's see each other in my next video. Goodbye.